Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It is April 4th. Good morning. Wild day in the markets yesterday. Powell talking in the morning. Um, we had 10 a.m. news come out, and that just like exploded the market higher. And we broke the week high that I spoke about yesterday. We took out single prints from the overnight session. That's what fueled kind of that move up. Then you had a violent move down later in the day after Powell was talking. That got bought up, and now we're currently a small gap higher. It's pretty much at the highs of yesterday. So I mentioned it yesterday that we were trying to bottom out at these levels. Nasdaq specifically almost hit the 50-day moving average on the futures, and the ES went under the 20-day simple moving average on the daily. So they're getting bought right now. Who knows right now? We're at a key level. We'll get into this all later. So that's what's going on in the markets, right? Not tons and tons of crazy news this morning. So without further ado, let's get into this. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the market. Okay, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure, anchor VWAPs, most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the prior day. All these things line up. It gives me a great chance to put trades on, basically. Put risk on. Confluence is the name of the game. The more of these, I don't even call them indicators because they're just structure based. Um, they line up, then that gives me more probabilities of what I've seen, how the market moves, to be on the bright side. That's the gist, right? That's really what it comes down to. And trading is definitely a journey. It is not easy. It is psychologically taxing, mentally taxing, and hopefully there's other people on the journey with me. All right. Now, with that being said, subscribe, set an alert. All right. Continue your journey with me. All right. And of course, if you like my content, please give me a thumbs up or a like. That would be much appreciated. And as always, you can follow me on X. That's at Gonzo719. Okay. Now let's get right into the futures watch list. Okay. Let's see what's leading the markets this morning. What do we have? We have Bitcoin's up 1% at 66, almost 67,000. Ether's up 0.82. Nasdaq's up 0.42. ES up 0.31. Russell up 0.328. Excuse me. The Dow's up 0.25. 10-year yield should rise a little bit. Silver had a big day yesterday. Now it's kind of like down 0.11. The dollar's down. 30-year bonds being sold down 0.21 as we speak. Initial jobless claims are coming out at 8:30 today. Crude's pulling back a little bit. It's been on a run. Gold been on a huge run. It's pulling back a little bit, down 0.44. Okay, VIX is down 0.84, so it's down to 14. Remember I said you want to see the VIX hold over 15 in order to really get fear in these markets. We had a couple of pops over that, but not sustainable, right? Not sustainable. This pullback, is it going to get bought? Or are we going to go break highs again? I don't know. Momentum is a serious thing, right? So you don't want to stand in front of that momentum and fight it, okay? Now, moving on to the Max 7 Plus. All right, Bitcoin's up. Coin is up. Coin got a price target raise this morning. So that's going to help that. Meta up 1.48%. That is one of the stocks that finally pulled back, and now it's getting some love. Now, Meta has got earnings coming up 4/24. Earnings is going to start again. That's crazy. I feel like we just got out of that. What news? Did they have any news? Meta, what's up? Back up after adage. Not really sure what news. I haven't seen anything yet, but our good old friend Nvidia is up 1%. Right? Flirting with 900 right now. Okay, flirting with 900. Followed by Amazon up 0.81. And actually, Tesla got a price target reduction, but it's still up 0.78, right? All right. Now, laggard. Do we have laggards? JP Morgan's down 0.25 and Google's down 0.76. Lately, that's really been the strong one. After that, Momentary pullback to the 200-day moving average on Google, which was just screaming a buy, right? So that's been on a monster after their AI fumble. All right, so let's move on to top sector stocks. Morgan Stanley is up 0.75. All right, Salesforce up 0.58. Qualcomm's up 0.48. All right, those are the leaders there. Oh, we have a laggard. Yeah, finally, crude's pulling back a little bit. So we got, uh, what is that? Exxon's down 0.34. Okay, let's look at my swing trade list. What is leading the pack there? Wayfair. That is up 3.97%. MicroStrategy is up 3%. This is all Bitcoin stuff related, getting love now. Mara. Palantir's up 2.42%. AstraZeneca, Donald Trump stock, Riot, um, Win, Soundhound. Not nothing big, right? All right. So let's look at the laggards. Block. Block's down 3.14%. Paramount Global down 1.55. I know they're getting looked to get bought out. That surged the stock, I believe, yesterday. Um, who knows what's going on that? Bristol Myers Squibb's down, gold's down, TLT. Nothing really to note here. Okay, nothing really to note. Go back to top sectors. Let's go to sectors. In sectors, who's leading the pack? Surprise, surprise. Semiconductors up 0.71%. Technology up 0.45. Discretionary up 0.44. All the big boys. Financials up 0.31. Industrials up 0.23. There is nobody down. No sector is down this morning. Okay? No sector is down. But we are at key levels and we will talk about that. Okay? There's going to be a decision being made today. All right? So let's move over to economic calendar and some news. Let's move on. Let's go to it. So we have economic calendar here. What do we have on tap for today? We have 8:30 jobless claims. Okay, we're expecting 214, previous 210. So we'll see how that comes out. Okay. You know, bulls want to see this jobless claims be a lot higher than 214. Okay. So we'll see what happens there. Now we have a lot of Fed speak again today. Fed Barkin, Phil Gooseby, Fed Mester. I don't know who that guy is. I never saw that guy before. Fed Musalim, Fed Kugler. All right, that's all after the market closes anyway. So really, pretty much, it's all about the initial jobless claims. And tomorrow's the big boy, non-farm payrolls, unemployment. Okay, that's the big boy for tomorrow. Okay, and it looks like we're expecting unemployment to stay the same. Non-farm payrolls forecast 200. Let's see. These numbers are all messed up because they're never accurate and they get revised later. It doesn't matter. You trade the numbers that come out. So that's what's going on there. I was looking at earlier some upgrades and downgrades. You can see Wayfair got upgraded. Paramount Global got upgraded. Capital One got upgraded. That's really all target. I'm just trying to see Levi's target raised. Paramount Global got their target lowered. Just trying to see. Square Block got reiterated by Morgan Stanley to equal weight to underweight. That's why probably that's down. I'm just trying to pick up important stocks here. Bank of America reiterated it from a buy to neutral. Let's see. Reddit actually was rated as underperform. That's about it for that. All right. Other news would see the juice. I did see Fed Bostic yesterday said he expects only one rate cut in the last quarter, which I didn't really realize that. So Fed Bostic yesterday, 851, said, I'm still forecasting one rate cut this year. He is known as a hawk, so very interesting. I don't really think Powell said anything too crazy yesterday. Yeah. Fed Bostic really said something. All right. Um, that's really it there. What was I looking at here? Powell remains cautious. Bostic, like I said, one rate cut. I'm trying to think here. Crude's probably due for a little bit of a pullback. Trying to think what else here could be to note. Um, Let me see if I have anything else come out. What we do. Let me see here. Let's see if there's any other news that I can share. Let's look into it. Okay. Paramount, we talk. Exxon Mobil signals weaker oil and gas prices to hit first quarter profit. Okay. Russian antitrust agency complains to Apple over users' limited payment services. Global markets. Okay, I'm just trying to see. BlackBerry company reported a surprise profit in the fourth quarter. Levi Strauss and Company, the denim maker, raised its annual profit forecast on Wednesday, citing the company's real cost savings from job cuts and less aggressive discounts on jeans and denim clothing. Okay. Now I saw Google is considering charging for AI on AI-powered search engine. They're not doing that yet. Um, just trying to see. I think that's really it. Ulta Beauty. Oh, they had a big drop. Big drop. Um, that's about it. I think we can go to the daily charts now. There's not much there that's going to impact much. Um, let's go to the daily charts. Let's pull that up. Boom. Let's look at this. Let's look at what happened because we got to talk about this. We definitely got to talk about this. All right. So, what do we have? We kind of broke this uptrend, right? Kind of been under it, but it's not really fully broken. Let's just go to it. Okay. Yesterday was a wild day. Okay. Opened here. I'm sorry, opened here, right? Pulled down a little bit, and then you really pushed up after that 10 a.m. news came out, right? And you almost, let me see here. So you pretty much close to filled this gap, okay? Came right up to it. That's where selling was initiated, all right? Now, you can see that touched the 20-day simple moving average, pushed off that, still holding that support, closed under the 90-MA daily. Do I really say this is a trend break? Not really. Okay, so you can see also we were playing around with last week's lows. This orange line right here, that's last week's lows. Okay, we didn't close under them. And then this gap, right? So we're at 521.30 right now. 521.30. Now on the SPY, we're gapping up very, very slightly here. Now, obviously, if you go by the close, it's a big gap. But me, I like to look at the highs. So this is about 521.30, so slightly gapping. Now the big question is can we just go straight up to this 524? That will be the question, right? Because now we only have that big gap down. You don't have multiple days of selling, but you have that gap that we closed. So now is this the case where you could start to put these shorts here in question, right? So that's the question for today. Okay, now the ES, I wouldn't think, it doesn't look as pretty as the NASDAQ does. So let's look at that, meaning structure wise. Okay, well, you're going to see why I'm saying that. Okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, so look at this. Let's draw this out. Let's draw this out so I can be clear. Look at this range. Oop, I thought I just picked the box here. Look at this range right there. And we could even expand this. Let's activate it. Well, you know what it's going to do. I haven't set the snap. It's okay. We'll just put it right there. Okay, look at that range. That's a balanced range. Okay, so what did we do yesterday? Just want to note here how perfect this was. So look at what we did yesterday. Let me change this over to this, okay? So look at that right here. Now I talked about this yesterday. When you have balance and you break lower, okay, if you don't get follow through and you start to come back into range, you're most likely, if you can hold this back in this range, you're going to go to the other side. Okay, so the Nasdaq attempted to go back into range. Well, look where it closed, right at last week's lows. Okay, right at the balance low of this range. So I'm really looking for possibly for a swing to, if we can hold here. Okay, if we can hold the 442s, we're probably going to traverse the range and at least go back to 447, 448, and possibly go higher. Because that's how balance works. This could be a look below and fail. You could look below and fail. We didn't get continuation lower. So balance rules is that you go back to the other edge of balance. All the shorts up here will cover. That's how that works. Where are we at now? 444.15, let's say 444.15. We're back at the highs here. Okay, back at the highs here. Now the only thing I would have put on a structure and options here yesterday, but non-farm payrolls are tomorrow. So I really want to see how we look after that. So that's what's going on, really. Okay, can we hold back in this range? If we can, and you get some strength today, we're probably going to hit 448. Okay, now you do see, I don't talk about it a lot, but the expected move is $5.20 today. $5.20 from the close would be about 447 exact. Would be right here. That's $3 move now, right? So we will have to see. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on to this crazy bond market. Triple-headed monster, as I like to call. Ooh, large orders hitting the tape here. All right, let's look at this together. We're holding this range, right? We're holding this resistance, now turning into support at 4.3 yield. Okay, 10-year yield right now is currently up 0.41%. 0.41%. So look at the bond market; it is rising. So somebody's lying. Okay, just got to keep your eye on it. Now the VIX, like I said, we did have some fear. We did have some fear. Look, we went all the way to 15 yesterday, but we couldn't hold it. See, these attempts, all these attempts, have not been able to hold the fear. Okay, now we're back down here. So over 15. You got to look at that. All right, now the dollar. The dollar's been a little strength of late. I think it's pulling back today. Yeah. So dollar's pulling back. So that's interesting. The dollar's pulling back. Now, jobless claims are going to come out, and this should change the dollar. However this comes out, however these numbers, these fake numbers come out, mainly for tomorrow is the non-farm payrolls is the big fake number, but the initial jobless claims, we'll just have to see. It's could probably move the market a little bit. Okay, it will probably move the market a little bit, and you'll hear probably large order hitting the tape. If you hear that alarm sound, that's my alarm for big orders. That's 100 lots in the ES. Just to let you know that 100 lot moves, 100 lot bids or offers. So let's see here. Let's move on. We talked about that. Now we can get into the daily charts. I'm sorry, into the market profile and buying profile. Let's do that. And we'll look at structure together. Boom. Alrighty. Let's go over it. Now that news is going to drop in about 10 seconds. So I'm going to break this profile out in the ES. That's the movement overnight. 30-minute bars. There's some movement right now. All right. Right now, market seems to like it. You got a little push into supply here. Let's actually look at the news. What do we actually come in here? Okay, initial jobless claims were over. We're over slightly by 7,000. So that's actually bullish a little bit, okay? That's a weakening. So large orders hitting the tape. Now this isn't, I don't think, gonna make something really big happen, but it's bullish. You can hear the large orders. If you can't, I'm most likely sure you do hear them. So that's what we're looking at. All right. Now I'm gonna change this back. Okay. That's all the Mocha profile is. It's nothing to be scared of. Okay. So this is gonna digest those numbers. We're gonna talk about structure. Okay. So now you can notice here this profile has diminishing participants higher. Okay. So you can see how less and less and less volume is transacted the higher we went. Okay. And the most traded price of the week is right here. Happened to be the most traded price of yesterday, 52.75. Okay. Price is right there above it. Okay. Another thing to note, week to date VWAP and monthly VWAP, we are over. It's green, so that means for the week and for this month, buyers are in control. So the sellers had control. You can see up here it was red, 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 red. Now we're green. So the sellers did have control, but they lost it. Okay, so the average seller's underwater. That's all that's telling you. And the average buyer is making money. So let's look at this. Okay, so yesterday, here's what happened yesterday. Okay, so I was looking to go long, but then news was coming out at 9:45 at 10 a.m. and I'm like, I'm not going to be in this. And as soon as that 10 a.m. news hit, the market just pushed up big. Okay, pushed up big. So yesterday we opened down here. Now look, you only had this much short activity. Once we pushed up on that news, that week high right here that I talked about, and look to the left, you had single prints. That just ripped up. Okay, that's why that market moved like that. And then I had no edge anymore. That move happened, and then you kind of saw, you kind of just stuck there while Pyle was talking. Then you had a large move down, and then it got bought back up, and we closed right here. Okay, so where are we at now? We're gapping up into supply. Okay, so here's the highs from yesterday. Here's the lows. Here's the overnight low. Here's the overnight high. Okay, so you got a small gap up. Now, if you look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this in futures. It doesn't look as good in SPY, but in the futures, I'm going to see if I can show you. It's not coming across because what I'm seeing on my screen. Oh, as good as it's going to get here. So to the left here, there's many a support area that we had that we broke down lower on. That was what this move lower was, okay? Now, we're back into that a little bit. And this most traded price of the week's pretty much that range we broke out of. Now we're back. Okay, now we're back. And you look at the chart, you got shorts from here getting paid, shorts from here getting paid, shorts from here getting paid. Then that's why when this was broken, everybody started to cover. That was a huge cover, short covering. Okay, now the market's trying to see if we can start going back up. Right, but we're kind of going back into this big range that we broke down out of. Okay, we didn't actually fill the gap fully yesterday, so we're gapping up on top of a gap. Okay, now let's look at this together again. Now, overnight highs at the highs, right? Look where we opened. Okay, here's the opening of the overnight. There's the short activity to all this long, to all that long. Okay, that is pretty much close to 90% net long in the overnight. Okay, so you know you have longs from here, longs from here. Actually, longs from here, longs from here. Getting paid. Okay, so you can get, think about this, is that we're probably going to have some type of correction. Okay, we're into supply, we're into the bottom of that balance area. I would guess we probably have some type of correction. Now, in a gap, we all know the rules. Gap and go is the strongest. Failure to reach the gap fill, second strongest. Fill the gap, third strongest. And then if we come back into range, that means the buyers don't have as much strength. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. Okay, we do have a weak low here, the close in the overnight low from yesterday with the demand zone here. That is a very good, that is a very key area. I think that's the last line of defense. Okay, we do have the most traded price of the week and yesterday right here. So this area right here, I would say, is your area the bulls need to defend. Okay, so people watching me, not sure if anybody would know what we're going to go with next when we talk about scenarios. So now let's talk about scenarios, okay, based on what I just said. Okay, so we're going to go with the bullish scenario. Now, fine, right? We got long, 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 long. We bounced off the most traded price of the month. Right now, the most traded price of yesterday and the week, we're above that. We're gapping higher. Okay, so, my thing is to go over trade scenarios that I would like to see. Okay, so we can push up. Oh, that's a little too thick. Yeah, it's a little too thick. All right, so we can push up. That's fine. Okay, and then if we fail, that's fine. And a gap fill could be the bounce, right? That could be one. Okay, we could even correct a little more. This would really be my limit here. Okay, here's another one. You come down to the most traded price of yesterday and the week. We could hold that. That could be. I know I said if you go into range, it's a little weakness, but if you don't know these levels, right? Because they're very important. Last line of defense is this demand zone and the overnight low. Okay, this is the last time that I would really be like, I would really want to see it recover, push above here, hold, hold, hold for me to have confidence. That's it for me as far as like really want to be long immediately. Could we drop all the way back down here? Of course. All right, but now let's go to the short scenario. Okay. Well, we're in a pretty good supply zone here. Okay, we're gapping up. Remember, we're starting to go back into range from where we dropped from. We're starting to go back into range. Okay, so first things first. Like I said, we got longs from here, 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 all getting paid. We are almost 100% net long in the overnight. Okay, so that corrective activity that I just talked about in the bull scenario is going to be a good case for a short, probably close to the open. Not an easy trade, but what can happen is you can go up, come through the open. Okay, now look at this most traded price at the overnight. That's important as well. Okay, those are longs there. So if we come down, push through that, we're going to correct. Most likely, like I said, to here. Now this is bearish. So if we break this, okay, what I would need to see to get big confidence in a short. Now you could have very big confidence up here and behold it. Me, I probably want to see this happen. I want to see this cut through the monthly view up and week to day view up. I want to see this demand take out. I want to see a weak pullback that cannot get above this level right here. It gets stuck and you start just holding That's where I get interested to make a move lower. Okay, I need to see all that stuff happen in order for me to get confidence that, all right, and seeing obviously how certain stocks are behaving and the internals are behaving for me to have confidence to put risk on. Okay, but right now, like I said, I am favoring the long until this is proven. If this is proven, if price, okay, if price, we'll go to yellow here, if price just decides to do this, break this level, hold under here, that would give me confidence that, okay, this market maybe has still some room to go below. Okay, if we hold above it, then we go higher. That's the gist. Okay, so that's the ES. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Okay, let's look at that NASDAQ together. Does it look different? Does it look similar? Let's see. Now, like I said, the NASDAQ has a more perfect setup. Big orders in the tape. Big orders. All right. So let's look at this profile. It's a little different, right? So you have distribution here, here, like that. Okay. Now, most traded price of the week and the most traded price of yesterday are the same, right here. Price is here. Okay, that price is 184.17. Now, the most traded price of the year and of the month is 182.80. You're above these big levels. So that is bullish. Structurally is bullish. Okay. Now, let's look at yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows. Okay. Got some single prints down here. Okay. But we're gapping up. We're at the highs. Okay. Here's the lows. So we're gapping up into supply. Yesterday, the NASDAQ did fill its gap. So the NASDAQ filled the gap. Okay. So now it's the same structure as the ES. Okay. You got demand here, right at the most traded price of the week and yesterday. You got monthly VWAP and week-to-day VWAP with the 20-day simple moving average on the futures right here. So right here, the bulls need to defend this area. Okay, so it's very simple of what I'm looking for. It's the same thing. So I'm going to briefly draw it out, these NQ scenarios. Okay, I'm going to briefly draw it out because it's the same structure. Okay, so of course, can we just push up, come down, fill the gap, launch off, break through the supply, and head to the other side? Yes. Can we then come down here, test this demand, hold it, go up? Yes. Same thing with here. It's the last line of defense. Hold, monthly VWAP, week-to-day VWAP. Then, like I said, I would like to see a push above and hold here, then get confidence. Okay? That's all long activity. Okay? Conversely, just like in the ES, this area is everything. So regardless of what we do up here, if you're bold and we do push up, come through the open, if you're bold enough to get short up here, you probably would get handsomely rewarded if we break the most traded price of the overnight. So if we go boom, you're probably going to come down and test this area. Okay? Like I said, just like on the ES, I want to get some confirmation that there's some weakness. I need to see all this taken out, a pullback, and hold to see if we can get that move back down to the most traded price of the year and the month. If we break that, boy, and hold under there, then look out. But this is just a scenario. This does not mean I believe this, okay? But that is definitely a scenario, okay? So that pretty much wraps up. Now let's look at relative volume today because I've been doing that lately, so I've been showing you that. So let's look at that really quickly. And maybe we'll even just look at the candlestick because I know maybe some people get confused with the market profile and the volume profile. Okay, so let's just look. Let's first look at relative volume today. Okay, so we are a little lower today, 84% of normal volume. Let's see, crude is at 85%, and we got the Nasdaq at 78%. Okay, market's pushing even higher as I'm speaking. Okay, so let's look at the ES, and we actually just had demand form here with this non-farm, the jobless claims here. So I'll have to do a new demand zone here. So let's look at that. So these are the 1 hour charts. All right, well, so we have new demand here now. So let me just go through here. This could be possibly 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be a 4 hour demand. Let's see here. Is it a 4 hour? And it is. Let's look at the 3 hour. Let's look at a 2 hour. Whoa, boy. You just large orders hitting the tape right now. Woof. That was big orders just came through. All right, probably going to take the supply out. Let's just put this demand here. Okay. So we got demand right there, right from this movement. We're in this supply. So now I want to see the supply take out to now come back. Now what you have is, now this changes the plan. Well, not really. Okay, what I'd like to see. Now if we take this supply zone out, I want to see a pullback into this demand. And what is that? That is the old gap in yesterday's highs. Okay, so that could be your move. Okay, now I'm hoping for that supply to be taken out. Even if it's not, it's being used up. Okay, even if it's not. So let's go back to an hourly chart. All right, and now let's look at the NASDAQ together. We got a nice demand here. Okay, so we got demand here. Look, it's pushing up. That's all good. That is all good. Okay, now you can just see the structure here. Now look at this. This is what I was talking about. Here's that zone in the NASDAQ that we broke. Boom. Right? Recovered. Most traded price of the year in the month right there. Recovered, right? Now look, we're starting to go back into range. What do you think all these shorts are going to think if we start coming back and we start doing this? They're going to cover. It's going to force us back to here. Okay, I don't know if that happens today, but if we do something like this, and this is what I want to see, right into this demand, like I said, it could even dip here. That could be the move. Okay, doesn't always have to go exactly like that, but that's what it's going like. We are moving up, and like I said, people who are short here are going to be nervous. So, wow, we just broke it. I just saw we broke that supply in the ES. Let's just go there real quick because it just got broken. Right there. Broke that supply. So that supply is gone. So now it's a matter of what do we do? This market's really pushing. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to. Now you're gonna want to see a pullback. This demand zone's very important now. Man, this market's nuts. All right, we got the plan today. Really, now the pullback to the yesterday's highs is where it's at. And again, I'll have to reassess. Actually, the Nasdaq just took out. It's about to take out its supply. So I'm giving you some bonus stuff today. Here, let's look at this. This now, and the Nasdaq is now gone. Gone. It's gone. So they both took out their supply zones. So like I said, very easy now. I'm going to look for something like this. Boom. Into this area or here to go higher. NASDAQ. Into this demand, which would fill the gap. Hold, right? But not everything's perfect. It could come down and whip down here. Like I said, even down to here. Doesn't matter. Okay? Doesn't matter. All right. Gave you guys a little bonus today. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Um, so please subscribe, set an alert. All right, if you haven't already, give me a like if you liked what you saw. And of course, you can follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay, so the plan now, it's if it gaps and goes, see you later. You go without me. I'm not putting, that doesn't make sense. Risk wise, this doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so hope everybody understands the plan today. So, I mean, we are cooking pretty good right now. Remember, though, we're almost 100% net long in the overnight. Okay? Usually, there's corrective. People take profits and there's correction, and that's what we're hoping for. Okay? So, let's hope everybody stays green today. And if there's something juicy today in the market and I want to show everybody something, I'll try to do some kind of midday update. All right? Everybody have a great day.